First up this morning, we have Minister Bill Johnston.
I want to begin by acknowledging that we meet on the traditional lands of the Noongar people, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and acknowledge the contribution they make to the life of our city, this region and the whole of Western Australia. Also particularly acknowledge Bill Rippard, the Chairman of Paydirt Media, and very generous for allowing me to come along and speak at so many of his events. I thank Keith Pitt for joining us in person yesterday, and acknowledge the many Consul Generals and diplomatic staff that are paying attention to this important conference. So in the last financial year, Western Australia's gross state product was $361.8 billion, which is 17.5% of Australia's gross domestic product for 11% of Australia's population. And of that, 170 billion was the mining industry here in Western Australia. And part of that was the battery minerals and critical minerals contribution. Of course, Western Australia produces 52% of the world's lithium supply, and we're in the top 5 for rare earths, nickel and cobalt. The McGowan Labor government's support for the battery metals industry and the critical minerals industry is based on our future batteries and critical minerals industry strategy, which is committed to growing WA's battery and critical minerals processing sector from our clearly abundant resources. And I'm very pleased to be the chair of the strategy. Our strategy's aim is to boost exports, increase inbound investment and deliver high quality, high paid jobs for Western Australians. We've continued to work through our strategy to deliver significant global investment to develop our industry capability here in Western Australia. And I was very pleased in October last year to be able to open BHP Nickel West's nickel sulphate plant in Kwinana next to their nickel refinery, the first in Australia. The new facility is intended to produce 100,000 tonnes of nickel sulphate, which is enough to make about 700,000 electric vehicles. Tianqi Lithium, Albemarle and Covalent Lithium are also developing downstream lithium hydroxide projects here in Western Australia. And acknowledge the other businesses that are looking for downstream processing of lithium in various locations across Western Australia, and perhaps using new and innovative technologies as well. We're obviously very pleased to welcome Iluka's decision to deliver a fully integrated refinery for the production of separated rare earth oxides at Eneabba in our Midwest. Adding to the strength of our downstream processing sector. And very soon I'll be able to visit Lynas' project in Kalgoorlie, which is on track and on budget, I'm told, to have its rare earths processing facility in operation in July of next year. And it'll be the first opportunity for downstream processing of rare earths here in Western Australia. And complements their Mount Weld mine. And of course, at the same time, Hastings Technology Metals is moving forward with the Anjabana project with the intention of having processing downstream facilities at Onslow in the Pilbara. We're also very pleased to see the Commonwealth supporting Pure Battery Technologies proposal for a PCAM hub outside Kalgoorlie, and we acknowledge the Commonwealth Government's support for that project. That intends to be an integrated nickel, magnesium, cobalt battery materials refinery hub, and is an important further step along our support for downstream processing. We also welcome the Commonwealth support for Australian Vanadium's modern project, which will see a $367 million investment for high-grade vanadium from its Meekatharra mine transformed into batteries to fuel domestic and overseas demand. We also have Ecograph's battery anode material facility at Kwinana, which will produce high purity graphite products for use in lithium-ion batteries and other advanced manufacturing opportunities. We also acknowledge the investment into high purity alumina that's also taking place here in Western Australia, with a number of projects getting closer to investment decision. We also want to encourage PCAM, or precursor cathode active material, or precursors to cathode active material here in Western Australia. And so we are currently in discussions with a range of global manufacturers in the PCAM space. Through the Minerals Research Institute of Western Australia, we're invested in the Future Battery Industry CRC, and they are currently with Curtin University installing a pilot plant for a cathode precursor production facility at Curtin University. This is aiming to demonstrate our capability to produce cost-effective, high-quality nickel, cobalt, manganese precursor cathode active materials. We believe we offer a number of strategic advantages for a PCAM facility. Firstly, we believe that there's an opportunity for co-location integration with the supply of processed material inputs, and therefore greater supply chain security. We think we have got the industrial ecosystem and support to see a success for an investor into this important value-adding opportunity. We're close to market, and we have a history of being able to support investment and returns to those investors. So I remind everybody that we have a specific incentive package for a precursor plant at the Kwinana Industrial Estate, and we would very much like to talk to any investor in that space. Indeed, if you've got a project that you think would be better in the precursor chemical space, not at Kwinana, we'd also be very happy to discuss that with you, and that's why we're certainly pleased to see the range of investments across the state. So we think one of the advantages of investing in Western Australia is we have high levels of environmental, social and governance obligations, and that's now an advantage. Business investors in Western Australia can be assured that their end users can be confident that material being sourced from Western Australia meets all global ethical standards, and we believe that that is an advantage for here in Western Australia. We've been able to work with global investors over a long period of time to keep projects operating, and whether that's in the iron ore sector or the alumina sector or the LNG sector, we have that demonstrated capability of working with international investors over a long period of time for these long-lived investments. We also believe that there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration, and we want to just note the Electric Mine Consortium, which will accelerate progress towards fully electrified mining, and the Charge on Innovation Challenge, which is stimulating innovation for haul trucks and other electrification in mines. We also have a strong commitment to supporting the decarbonisation of the mining industry. And this includes investment in research and development to help accelerate net emissions mining through the Minerals Research Institute in Western Australia. We believe that this is giving us a strong opportunity to demonstrate capability in green mining. We also have other advantages to attract world-scale investment. We've got world-leading mine and mining process expertise. We have a highly skilled workforce. We have strong and robust regulatory framework and very low political risk. And we're certainly recognised as a leader in critical minerals, as well as research and innovation. And we particularly thank the FBI CRC for the work it's doing, and I acknowledge that you're about to receive a presentation from them. So we hope that over the next 30 years that we can continue to have investment in clean energy technologies to create a stronger industry here in Western Australia that can see potentially tens of thousands of additional jobs here in Western Australia, and that investors in our state will be able to have a strong return on capital and match the return that they would get in any other jurisdiction. So I want to conclude by saying that we think we are well placed to take advantage of these opportunities. We want to partner with industry to take advantage of these unique opportunities, that we believe that we can be a strong alternative supply chain compared to other operations, and that there's a strong business case for those investments. Thank you very much, and I hope that the conference goes very well.